I woke up feeling very anxious, feeling very frazzled. I had a dream that me and Pete Davidson was on a game show and we won't get into it. I've been having a lot of really intense, very vivid dreams, and honestly, I'm not mad about it. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot to wake up and have this whole very in-depth story in your mind. My dog's wanting to go outside. Have this whole story in your mind that feels very, very real, and then have to just like continue with life and exist as if you haven't just imagined that you was dying alongside Pete Davidson. So I woke up feeling somewhat frazzled, and then we had the Creatrix Coven co-creatrix session where we was designing our own billboards, imagining that we had a billboard that was ours. We could put whatever message you wanted to share with the world on it and design that, acting as if, creating a space for ourselves to say the things we're going to say in the way that we want to say them. And it feels freeing, you know, it feels freeing to give ourselves opportunities that might never exist, that we might not even necessarily want to exist, but deciding that we can create in different ways. We can speak and take up space in different ways. We can share our ideas in different ways. And so I woke up feeling this fizzy, overwhelming anxiety. And now I'm feeling really happy to be alive, really excited to spend a whole day creating things and hanging out at home and then going to the studio, and just the fact that we get to be alive, we get to make art, we get to feel a whole plethora of emotions. And look, okay, I got this book from the Suitcase Rummage the other day, and it's by Bhagwan, who is now Osho. Vivian! And first of all, I went up to the dude's stall because I saw this impeccable fontage, which is also, wait, what is your deal? Why are you screaming? Why? She saw the next door neighbor's car and she's literally shaking to a car. Just calm down, Vivian. It's fine. What was I saying? Something about feelings. This book is like, she's an oldie. And at first, you know, I love to write in my books and to highlight and to like live with my book and to change it and have it, like use it as a tool for my own thinking and learning and all the things. And I really believe and know that the best way to do that is to like not be precious about something, not be afraid of dog-earing the pages or writing in the book or highlighting the book, because if it allows you to learn something or interact with something more deeply, then why are we afraid of doing it? Why do we think that pieces of paper are more precious than our ability to like have ideas and to think expansively? That is simply not. So please write in your books. But the reason I didn't, not that I didn't want to, but I was a little bit reluctant to, is because, I don't know, this is like a literal book that's literally published in I don't know when, but it's more than a minute old, you know? Whatever, I just felt like it was weird to write in it. But it's not weird to write in it, so I'm writing in it anyway. Fast forward, I made the decision to use the book the way that I think is the most effective way to use a book. And I've already highlighted just everything on every page, basically. The thing that I really like about the way that Osho teaches and speaks is, dude's funny. Like, dude says stuff that you don't expect, and you're like, wait, am I reading like a spiritual text, or this boy just got jokes? And you know, it's one and the same, because such is life. I forgot what I was talking about. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The part that I've been reading just right at the beginning is like, we don't have to restrict ourselves and define ourselves and narrow ourselves to any one way of thinking. And the more that we do that, the more that we're like, this is the way I should think because I am this type of thinker. This is what my behavior should be, and I should take myself and my spirituality and my beliefs and all this shit very, very seriously. And that's very boring and unnecessary. And I think instead we can see these different emotions and these different experiences that pass through us as what they are, which is just different emotions and different feelings that pass through us. And it doesn't all have to be so serious. We can actually enjoy the process of becoming ourselves and exploring our ideas. And that is why I feel so deeply about creativity. And I want to share with you some of the billboards that I was sketching up during our co-creatrix session. When it comes down to it, this is what I want to scream from billboards. This is what I want to share with people. I really think, yeah, the world would be an infinitely better place if more people felt like they could give themselves the time and the space to explore their own creativity. And I really believe that we'd all be happier. We'd have so many different options of living and perspectives and so much more understanding of each other because we're brave enough to share with each other what it feels like to live life from our perspective, to live life through our lens. And it's kind of like when you do an activity like this is why I wanted to do it in the Coven. This making a billboard, designing your own billboard, sharing with other people how you see the world and how you think it can benefit people to look at life. We welcome people into how we see the world and we open ourselves up to other people's perspectives. And for me, that's why reading is so valuable. I can't believe we can get a book and sit with the deep ideas of someone else's whole life, someone else's like years of their life that they've spent discovering through all this trial and error, through all of this living, and we can just like lay in the bathtub and flip through those pages. So all of this to say, I am not gonna waste my day feeling anxious when in fact I've got art to make. So let's do it. Life is too short to be boring. You know, it's obviously hideously boring to, what is this angle? It's obviously hideously boring to complain about the weather, but I really feel like I am born to be in a tropical environment. And it's winter here on the Gold Coast. I am struggling. I have a hot water bottle with me at all times. I just like to feel cozy. I like to feel warm. I want to be on a tropical beach. So I'm gonna figure out how to make that happen. I have some orders to pack and I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna do that right now. And I'm gonna, we're gonna take those to the post office. And then we're gonna go to the pottery studio because I have some cups that I threw, mugs, cups that I threw the other day that I wanna trim. And I wanna show you as well, I have a whole stash now of Make Art and Be Hot mugs that I will be sending out, all the pre-orders. And it's been really helpful to make something on repeat, to make the same thing over and over again. I've improved so much, like my throwing abilities and molding and trimming abilities at making mugs because of that. But also, I'm really excited now to be making different things, and I think it's really important in our creative practices to be like, what is helpful? Like, where is repetition helpful? Where can I let myself do the same thing over and over again? And where can I let myself expand? Because if you only do the same thing over and over again, if you only focus on getting good at doing one thing, then you're only going to be able to do one thing. And it might be, you know, it's helpful to be really good at one thing. It's helpful to niche down and find success and find your ability to excel in one area. And it's also really helpful as a creative to allow yourself to expand and allow yourself to pursue different ideas and create in different ways. Because honestly, if the goal is to get really good at one thing, go all in on it. I know for me, and I believe for most of us, our goal is to explore ourselves in different ways, and it's us. Like, we have to give ourselves the permission to that. Nobody else is gonna come up and be like, you should explore this idea that you've been keeping secret in the back of your mind, and you should make this thing that you haven't told anybody else about. So it's really our responsibility to make the things, look at my socks by the way, Ren and Stimpy. It's really our responsibility to make the things that we want to make in the way we want to make them, and let ourselves create what we wish existed. You know, you speak about this a lot. If you want people to be obsessed with the things you create, if you want to find success at creating and being yourself, you have to first give yourself permission to create as yourself and to be your fullest self and show up in the world from that energy. Then, and only then, can people be like, yeah, we fucking love it. Can you believe I made all of these? Can you believe it? I also have these guys that I'm really excited to cook with, you know? I'm really excited to figure out how these things, these little ideas, are gonna be things that we can wear, things that we can live with. I don't know. I like them. I have 2 tables in my office, studio. The thing is that I want it to be a studio, but it doesn't feel entirely honest to call this room a studio at home, because I feel like I do officey stuff in here. And I want to do officey stuff in here because I run a freaking business, and there are like orders to pack, and there are like things to organize, and I don't know, like a whiteboard to write in, and all of those, you know, businessy things, creative businessy things. But mostly, first and foremost, I'm a creatrix. First and foremost, I am an artist. The spaces that we have and how we use them should and could reflect like what we most want to be doing with them, how we most want to use them. And as much as I know logistically, like I need to have this space sometimes as a packing table when I've got a lot of things to send out, when I've got a lot of orders to work through, sure, okay? But most of the time, or some of the time, I want this to be, I read about this with Austin Kleon, how he has like a digital desk and he has an analog desk. And I really think, maybe I'll do it in this video, or maybe I'll do it in the next video, but I want to make this space where I have like my art supplies at the ready to create things at the drop of a hat. When I want to, I can get my pens out, my pencils out, and I can open my sketchbook and create in it, because I keep telling myself this year that I want to paint again more, and I want to physically write in a sketchbook and not do as many digital things. And you know, it doesn't work for us to just talk about those things inside of our head. What actually works is if we set up the systems and the places for us to create like that. But all of that said, right now I actually do need to use this as a packing desk. I got some tiny little screwdrivers, even tiny little screwdrivers, and I got some batteries because my scale needs new batteries, and I tried to pack all of these orders the other day and I couldn't because I had to get these bad boys. So let's pack orders. I just like, are you I just recorded a podcast. I'm making some lunch and I'm gonna do a little editing before we go to the pottery studio. So yeah, she's looking cozy. She's looking absolutely iconic, really. I also just packed all of the orders and realized I don't have any ink left in my printer, so I need to go to the office shop, get some ink, and I guess I'll drop them off at the post office tomorrow, which is fine. And now I need to take the battery out of this camera so I can edit the podcast. 1 minute.
I really love having this time at the pottery studio, like having this time to just sit and make something. And I only started learning how to do ceramics like a year and a half ago, which really isn't an only thing. Like a year and a half of learning how to do something and really dedicating yourself to getting good at something, and especially, as I said, like making mugs on repeat, you get good at something really quick. And it's really nice as well to make things and to sell them and be able to track your own progress and process. And that's another reason of why I feel really compelled to make these videos and to have this new way, I guess, of documenting my own creative journey. And there's so many people who I love watching them and seeing how things are made and seeing their progress. And just thinking about a future version of me who can watch this thing back feels really satisfying and really fun, like to remember this season of my life. And what is so beautiful and what I love is like having this time in the studio to just make things with my hands and not be on my phone as much, even though like it leads you to be on your phone because you're creating these products. And here I'm doing the listings for a shop update that I did. But I really want to encourage everybody, if you feel called to learn a new skill, you are never too old, it's never too late. There's always time. Like, you will progress quicker than you think you'll progress, and you'll have all these ideas, and it unlocks different parts of your brain and different parts of creativity that you didn't know you had when you let yourself actually create in new ways and in different ways. And I'm so excited to be able to share my own process with you and with my future self, and to bring these different things that I'm creating to life. So thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in. If you made it this far, then an affirmation for you is you can create anything and everything you want. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.